Hey everyone, Mr. DVB here. So today the 2025 Oscar nominees were announced, and as I have done in previous years, I'm going to be going over most of the categories today and giving my thoughts on what I think should win and what I think will win, as well as bring up any snubs if there's any. Originally, my plan was to watch the video, not live. There was no way I was going to get up at 5:30 to watch this. But I was going to originally just kind of like watch the video and react to it and give my predictions and stuff. I changed my mind though. I thought that would kind of take too long to find my way skimming through it. So instead, I'm just going to be going over this list on Vanity Fair. So the first category up in that case then is going to be for Best Cinematography. The nominees this year are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. So I've only seen Dune and Nosferatu as of right now. The Brutalist just opened in theaters near me, I think today. It might even be tomorrow, actually, that it's released. So that's one that I'm going to try to see in the next week or so, because it's a film that's been on my radar for quite a while now. I've heard great things about it, and it looks really damn good. Amelia Perez, I have not seen. I can watch it at any point because it's on Netflix, but I've heard nothing but negative things about that movie. I mean, and from what I've seen, which isn't a whole lot, but I've seen a couple of clips on Twitter and stuff, and it just looks so obnoxiously edited, and I don't know. So it's just weird to see it be nominated more than any other film this year, and to be tied with other films for the second most nominated movie of all time. Kind of shocking, especially when it seems like most people don't like it. Maria, I have not even heard of, to be honest. And then Nosferatu. So my prediction here, Dune Part 2, I think, has incredible cinematography. I think the first film looked great. It won back in 2022. And I think Part 2 looks even better, but I'm not sure how that's going to affect it, the fact that the previous one just won a couple of years ago. That might stop them from giving it the award again, even though I think it totally deserves it. So my runner-up would be Nosferatu in that case, because I thought that movie also looked incredible. The lighting in that movie, the shadows. I love that shot of the hand going over the city, or the scene where Nicholas Hoult arrives at the carriage and there's that cross on the road, the lighting there. So another incredible looking movie. And then The Brutalist, which I haven't seen, but I've heard great things about the way it looks, and from what I've seen from the trailers, it looks great as well. So my prediction is going to be for The Brutalist, to be honest. That's what I'm going to guess will win, but I think it could very well be Dune Part 2 as well, and that's what I think should win. I just don't know how the Academy is going to look at that, being that the previous film won a couple of years ago. Alright, then we have visual effects. So we have Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Really surprised to see Alien Romulus on here, but I'm very happy because that movie looked incredible. Obviously, there's the CGI Ian Holmes, which doesn't look very good in that movie, but everything else, the mixture of the practical effects with the puppets and the animatronics, and then the digital effects, it's so seamless. The movie looks incredible. The locations, everything. It is a fantastic looking movie, and yes, I understand that the Ian Holmes CGI wasn't very good, but it's one thing out of the rest of the movie that I thought looked incredible. And you can find shoddy visual effects in almost any movie. Maybe not Dune Part 2, but a lot of the times there's movies they nominated Avengers Infinity War for visual effects, and there's so many moments of awful CGI in that movie. So I don't really think it's fair to say Alien Romulus shouldn't have been nominated over the Ian Holmes thing. Better Man, the CGI Robbie Williams ape movie, being also nominated alongside Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is kind of surprising because I believe they're both done by Weta Digital Effects. Obviously, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has hundreds of more apes in it, and then you have all of the locations being visual effects as well. So Better Man, I don't think should even be nominated, to be honest, because the ape in Better Man, the one ape, does not look as good as the apes in Planet of the Apes. And I don't even think looks as good as the apes in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from 10 years ago. I think they look so sharp in the Planet of the Apes movies, and from what I saw from Better Man, I don't think it necessarily had that same sharpness to it. I'm not saying it looks bad, it still looks good, but to me there is a difference between these two. Anyways, Dune Part 2, incredible visual effects. The last film won. I think this one will probably win again. That's going to be my personal pick, and that's my guess. I would love to see Planet of the Apes win as well, though, because none of the new ones have won, and they all look incredible. None of them have won. And then there's Wicked, which looked good, I guess. I mean, I didn't really like think too much of the visual effects in that movie. So I think Dune's gonna take this one home, and it's what I think should win. All right, next up we have Best Sound. So the nominees this year are A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. So right off the bat, my prediction for what I think will win and what I think should win is Dune Part 2. I mean, I just think the last one won, but I mean, this, again, is just incredible from a technical standpoint. Like, Dune is genuinely flawless, and I think that the sound design was immaculate in that movie, just the bass and everything, and if you have Atmos, hearing all those things fly around you is just, it's crazy. So it sounds excellent. Complete Unknown, kind of surprised to see it on here because, I mean, for the majority of the movie, it's a pretty regular film, and then you get to, like, the concert scenes where, yeah, I mean, definitely there is some good sound design there because it does a good job at encapsulating it and making it feel like you're in the audience and stuff. So good sound design, just not what I would have necessarily predicted to, like, be in the running for, like, best sound design. Amelia Perez, again, I can't really speak for that movie, but I just haven't heard anything good about it. Wicked, good sound as well. I mean, having to sound mix all of the songs and everything going on in that film, so totally understandable. And then The Wild Robot, which I thought sounded excellent as well. Some really good sound design there. Like I said, though, Dune is my prediction. However, two movies that I think were actually kind of snubbed in terms of not being in this category that I think very well could have been. One of which is Mad Max, or Furiosa Mad Max Saga. I think that movie had excellent sound. I mean, Fury Road won back in 2016, and I think that the new one should have been nominated as well because I thought that movie sounded excellent. So not surprised it's not in here, but I think it 100% should have been, especially over something like Complete Unknown or like Amelia Perez. And then the other movie that I also think was snubbed for best sound, that I also think was snubbed for best editing, which we'll get into editing in a second, I think is Civil War, which I thought did an excellent job with its sound and editing, especially the two of them going hand in hand, because in that movie you would have all of these big firefights with crazy loud gunshots that sound very like real and authentic and stuff. So the movie right off the bat, like, it just sounds excellent there, and it's very loud and impactful. But the way that they would edit the film, where whenever people would like take a photo, like the journalist would take a photo, it would cut mid-action to just a black and white still photo, and then you would cut right back into the loud sound effects. And I thought it was really great at building up the tension and the intensity of those scenes. So I thought the editing in Civil War was great and very worthy of being edited over Amelia Perez, because the editing in Amelia Perez is trash. Like, I saw this one clip online where there's like people talking on the phone together, and it was just baffling, like how annoying it was to watch. But yeah, I mean, of these, to be honest, I don't even really have a prediction for this category. Anora, Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked. No Dune Part 2 in there. So yeah, I don't really know what to guess on this one. I would maybe say Brutalist, even though I haven't seen it. But like, again, I've only seen Anora and Conclave and Wicked. And so yeah, my prediction is Brutalist, I guess. That's what I think will win. Could be Conclave as well, though. Conclave had some great editing. Don't know. Kind of a tough category to say for me this year. Then we have Best Production Design. So we have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. So this one, good list this year. Brutalist is the only one that I have not seen. And like I said, I should be seeing it sometime in the next week, hopefully. But from what I've seen, it looks great. The movie is literally about an architect, so obviously it's dealing a lot with, set design and stuff. Conclave, the entire movie being in the Vatican, looks great. Like, the production design they did there, making it all look real. Dune Part 2, incredible locations and everything. So very, very good looking movie. And then Nosferatu and Wicked. My prediction for this one is going to be Wicked. I think Wicked will win just because I think it had a lot of buzz surrounding its production design, and they obviously did a great job. I mean, the way the school looks, the way that they built a real practical train. So yeah, the production design in Wicked is great. It's just it gets kind of lost in like the color grading and the visual effects, because you can't always tell what is like actually production design in that movie at times, because the movie is just so washed out looking. Nosferatu looked excellent though. I mean, the castle and I was gonna say London, but it's supposed to be Germany. I don't remember which city, but just when they're walking around in the streets, like all of that is just a set that they built. They didn't film it on like some real street. It's just a set that they built. Same with the castle. So Nosferatu was excellent production design as well. So I would love to see Nosferatu or Dune get it. I'm predicting Wicked, though. That's what I think will win. Then we have animated feature film. Kind of a tough one this year because Wild Robot is by far my favorite. I thought it was excellent and I loved it. And it's nominated for multiple awards this year. But it was also like it was the most nominated animated film of all time at the Golden Globes, and it lost to Flow. So my prediction is between Flow and Wild Robot. Because Flow just won at that other awards show, it could be Flow. But I find that from like previous years, there's not always consistency across the animated category when it comes to these award shows. The Oscars have had some very random picks in the past. And so I think that Wild Robot will still take it home. That's still what my prediction is. And what I think should win. I could see it being Flow, though. Inside Out 2, highest grossing animated movie of all time. Kind of overrated, though. I liked it, but I wasn't blown away by it or anything. Memoir of a Snail I've heard good things about, and Wallace and Gromit was fantastic. I loved it. But, yeah, I'm predicting Wild Robot. That's my guess. That's what I think should win. My second pick, though, is Flow for prediction. Then we have international feature. I haven't seen any of these, but Emilia Pérez is the only one of them to be nominated for Best Picture, so I think by default it kind of wins. It's been the case in previous years. I'm going to skip these categories. I'm going to skip original song this year too, because I don't know any of these, so I can't really speak there. Next one up will be original score. So the nominees are Daniel Blumberg for Brutalist, Vocal Bertelmann for Conclave, John Powell and Stephen Schwartz for Wicked, Clement Ducol and Camille for Emilia Pérez, and Chris Bowers for The Wild Robot. So no Dune this year, which was already a known thing. They changed the criteria for what can be eligible. So I think it's something like if a movie reuses like more than 20% of its previous film's score, it can't be nominated. Which I understand, but it's also just annoying timing because it's like you literally had Indiana Jones nominated last year, and there was next to like no new original scores in Dial of Destiny that stood out, right? Like the majority of that movie's soundtrack was John Williams just reusing previous scores. All of the recent Star Wars movies got nominated for sound or for a score, and they like. I liked the score for the new Star Wars movies, but kind of same situation. And then going further back, like Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of weird for them to make this rule now. I understand it, but it's unfortunate when I think Dune Part 2 had such a freaking great soundtrack. Because, yeah, there's some amazing themes in there, like new ones in particular. I think it's A Time Between Storms or A Time Between Sands or something. Like, easily my favorite score to have come out last year is that theme from Dune Part 2. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. My prediction here is going to be The Brutalist. I've heard the score from the trailer, and I thought it sounded excellent. So I'm just going to stick with guessing that. That's what I think will win. That's what I think should win out of the nominees, I guess. I mean, Wild Robot had a great score as well, but I think it'll be Brutalist. Conclave, good too. Wicked, I don't really... Wicked's an interesting one, because I'd never think of the original score in Wicked. I think of the songs. The score doesn't even come to my mind, so I'm kind of wondering like how that fits into the criteria. And then, okay, there's a random photo of my cat that you can all see. And then there's Emilia Pérez, which again, I can't really speak on. But yeah, I'm predicting Brutalist, that's what I think will win. Then we have makeup and hairstyling. So the nominees are A Different Man, Emilia Pérez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I'm glad to see Nosferatu get nominated for a handful of categories, because it's horror. Very rare that horror gets nominated for Best Picture. We did see Substance get nominated this year, however, but very rare that you see that. And so I'm happy that Nosferatu got some more nods than just, cinematography or something like that. Like, seeing it get into production design, makeup, and stuff is really great. A Different Man I have not seen, but I've seen, the makeup and hairstyling from it, and they do a great job. Emilia Pérez, I don't know. Nosferatu, they do an incredible job at transforming Bill Skarsgård into Count Orlok. Like, you can't even tell it's him. So it's just an insane job they did there. The Substance, I mean, the work they do in at turning, Demi Moore to this gross abomination of body parts and stuff is pretty great. It is such a disturbing, gross thing to look at, but they did a great job there. And then Wicked. Wicked, I mean, the only character who really stands out to me for makeup and hairstyling, obviously everybody has hairstyling and makeup done to them, but the only one that really stands out is, the lead character, Elphaba, and she's green. Like, I know there's more to it than them just painting her skin green, but when you have, like, Substance and Nosferatu and Different Man in the same category, Wicked, I think, is probably, like, the second weakest option here, to be honest. So I'm going to guess the Substance. That is what I think will win. My personal pick is either Substance or Nosferatu. I'm very happy with either of those winning, but I think the Substance will take it. Then we have Best Costume Design. So again, Nosferatu in here as well, which is great to see. So we have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. So this is the only nomination for Gladiator 2 this year. Not surprising. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of it. I really liked it personally, but I'm not shocked to see that it's only getting nominated for one thing. Of these nominees, Complete Unknown, I mean, there's this thing where a lot of, like, historical films or like, movies like that, like, get nominated, and obviously, I mean, A Complete Unknown, they do a good job at making everybody look like they're in the 60s, right? Like, all the costumes and everything, it's clothing that people would wear in the 60s, so it's fair. It's just that you don't think about it. Like, I'm not watching A Complete Unknown and thinking to myself, wow, these are great costumes. And I suppose that's kind of the point, is that it's a historical movie. It's the 60s. It's not like we're talking 1800 and stuff. It's, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And so they're wearing clothes that aren't, like, super far off from, like, things we see nowadays type thing. So it's just, to me, it's kind of like, it's weird when a movie like that gets nominated, because I'm never watching it thinking, wow, they did a great job with these costumes. Again, I get that's kind of why it's in there, because you don't think about it, you're just transported into it. But it's like, when you're comparing, when you have movies like Gladiator, Nosferatu, Wicked in the category, it's kind of like Complete Unknown is just there. It's like, why? So to me, yeah, I like when you see fantasy, sci-fi, things like that, like where there's actually, like, these creative, interesting outfits being made that aren't based on reality. I like that more, but I understand that's not how the costume category works. It tends to be a mix of that and historical movies where it's, striving for accuracy. So I kind of feel the same way about Conclave, honestly, in that regard. Obviously, they're still well done. I'm not, like, trying to shoot them down. It's just that's just how I view costumes. So for me, my personal pick would be probably Gladiator or Nosferatu for, like, what I would pick for myself. I think Wicked will win, though. I think it kind of just seems like Wicked's category to win. And so that's my prediction. But yeah, I think Nosferatu or Gladiator 2 would be nice to see, but it's not going to be those movies. Never say never. It's definitely not going to be Gladiator, though. Then we have original screenplay. So the nominees are Sean Baker for Anora, Brody Kober and Mona Fastvolt for Brutalist, Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain, Moritz Binder, Tim Feldbaum, and Alex David for September 5, which I saw literally yesterday. And then Coralie Fagre, there's a lot of names I'm going to pronounce wrong this year, for The Substance. Pretty solid list. I've seen all of these but Brutalist. Anora, I liked the movie. I wasn't, like, a huge fan of it like a lot of people were. I found it kind of exhausting, to be honest. Like, the first 40 minutes, it was basically just a sex montage, and I just wasn't really engaged with the movie that much. And then once things pick up, I liked it. It was, like, very high energy, though, like, just characters, like, yelling each other constantly, and I enjoyed it, but I just wasn't, like, it wasn't my favorite or anything, to be honest. The Brutalist, I've heard, great things about. A Real Pain had a really, like, nice, simplistic story to it. I liked the characters there and the writing. I think Jesse Eisenberg did a great job. September 5, very well written as well. Like, really good movie. Glad to see it got nominated for something. And then The Substance. My prediction is it's going to be either Anora or The Brutalist, I think. And what I think will win is... I'm going to guess Anora. I think Anora is going to take screenplay, but Brutalist is, like, my second pick. I think it'll be either of those. And then of the movies I have seen here, I would probably say my favorite script was A Real Pain, maybe? I don't know. Then we have Best Adapted Screenplay. So we have Jay Cox and Mangold for Complete Unknown, Peter Strahan for Conclave, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Rommel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes for Nickel Boys, and Clint Bentley and Greg Quaidar for Sing Sing. surprised to see Complete Unknown in there, actually. That movie's getting more Oscar buzz than I thought it was going to. To be honest, like, initially when I saw it, I would have just expected, oh, Timothée Chalamet will get nominated, and that's kind of it. But it's, like, got quite a bit of nominations this year, which is interesting to see. Yeah, for this one, I'm guessing my personal pick and what I think is going to win is Conclave. I don't think Emilia Perez is getting it. I can't speak for these two. I haven't seen them. But I think Conclave will take this. I could see it being one of these two, though, as well. But, yeah, I'm going to guess Conclave. Complete Unknown, good screenplay as well, but Conclave is my prediction for what I think will win. Then we have Supporting Actress. So the nominees are Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown, which is definitely a surprise. Ariana Grande for Wicked. Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. And Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Yeah, very surprising to see Monica Barbaro in there. I thought she was really good as Joanne Baez in the movie. Just didn't strike me as like an Oscar nominating performance, but she was good in it. Wicked, Ariana Grande for Wicked makes sense. I mean, she was like the fan favorite of that movie. She was a lot of fun in that film. A lot of people loved her in that movie, so I understand her being in there. Felicity Jones, Conclave, Emilia Perez, yeah. Okay, my pick, what I think is going to win is Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez, because I think she won at the Globes. Yeah, so I'm going to guess Zoe Saldana. I could see it being Ariana Grande, though. I think it's between those two. I think it's between Grande and Perez. Or, sorry, between Wicked and Emilia Perez. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Zoe Saldana as my prediction. Then we have Supporting Actor. So we have Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. The Apprentice is getting some Oscar nominees here, which is nice to see, because that movie seemed like it was kind of being blacklisted by like all the award shows because of just, the stance of the world right now, I guess. I don't know. People just didn't think that a Donald Trump biopic was gonna, get nominated for anything, but the Oscars decided to go for it, and that's cool to see. I think, though, that this one is going to go to Kieran Culkin. He won at the Globes. I think he's won at quite a bit of places, and I liked him a lot in the movie. I've heard great things about Guy Pearce as well, though, so I wouldn't be shocked if Guy Pearce maybe comes and gets it. But yeah, my guess is Kieran Culkin. Really liked Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown as Pete Seeger. Thought he was great there. But yeah, Kieran Culkin's my guess. I also thought Yura Borisov was really good as well, but if I had to make a prediction right now, I would go with Kieran Culkin. All right, then we move into Best Actor. So we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. This is a stacked list. This is genuinely a stacked list. Even though I've seen 2 of these movies as of right now. But Timothée Chalamet in Complete Unknown, excellent job. I mean, I thought he was phenomenal in that. Timothée Chalamet has quickly become one of my favorite actors working today. And it's kind of funny because a couple of years ago, I don't even know if I really liked him that much. And he's just genuinely climbed up a lot for me recently. I think he is turning into quite an established actor, and I think he has really good range. Coleman Domingo and Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes and Conclave. I think it's between these 3. I think it's between Ralph Fiennes, Timothy, and Adrian Brody. No Daniel Craig for Queer on here, which is interesting. I thought he was quite good in the movie, but obviously I think the 5th spot was Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice, and I think it's nice to see him make it in there. Yeah, my prediction, if I had to make one right now, I'm gonna guess Adrian Brody. That's who I'm guessing to win. I think he won an Oscar, though, in the past. I'm pretty sure he won for The Pianist, so, I think he did. So it would be nice to see Timothée Chalamet get it, and Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, any of those 3. My personal favorite out of these was Timothée Chalamet, but my prediction is going to be Adrian Brody. Ralph Fiennes would also be a welcomed pick as well. Any of those 3 I think are great. Then we move into Best Actress. So we have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernando Torres for I'm Still Here. So, snub, I don't know because I haven't seen it, but Pamela Anderson is not nominated for Last Showgirl, which might surprise some people. That's one movie that I know my mom really wants to go see because she really likes Pamela Anderson. So I'll go check that out as well in the next week, hopefully. Maggie Madsen was kind of leading the like predictions for a while. Like it seemed like she was like the surefire win, and then that whole controversy came out surrounding the like use or the lack of use of an intimacy coordinator on set, which I guess was a big deal for a lot of people and like for the industry, and so it seemed like that was making her lose that steam of winning. It kind of took away from that, and now it kind of seems like Demi Moore could be in the lead. I don't really know. I mean, the fact that like if people think she gave the best performance and then they didn't have an intimacy coordinator and like that's the reason why they don't think she should win, that straight up just feels like a scene from fucking Conclave. Like that's what the Academy feels like to me, where it was like, Brutalist seems like it's kind of a surefire win for Best Picture or for whatever. And then all of a sudden the like AI thing comes out where it's like, the Brutalist used AI to enhance the Hungarian spoken dialogue. People are like, they're using AI in this movie. It shouldn't win anything now. Like, fuck this film. And it's like, it just feels like we're living in Conclave where they're just pulling out all these little things from each of these movies and like finding things like, did you know that this person, said they didn't use an intimacy coordinator? Yeah, they shouldn't be nominated anymore. They shouldn't win. I just find it kind of funny. It's kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, kind of snobby, just like all these people picking apart these little tiny things and like, this one shouldn't be nominated for this reason. Anyways, I'm kind of dragging it on here. But anyways, I still think Mikey Madsen will win. That's still my prediction. It's between her and Demi Moore, though, I think. Cynthia Erivo was really good in Wicked. I don't think she's going to win, though. I don't think she should, to be honest, over these ones. Amelia Perez, I can't really speak on. That would be big because that would be the first transgender actress to win, Best Actress. So, being that this is the Oscars, I could see that winning, and it would be a huge moment, and standing ovation, people cheering, whatever. I don't know. I'm guessing Honora still. I think Mikey Madsen was great in that. Could be Demi Moore. I think either of those will win. Then we move into Best Director. So the nominees are Sean Baker for Honora, Brady Kober for The Brutalist, Coralie Fargeray for The Substance, and Jacques Audiard, Amelia Perez, James Mangold, Complete Unknown. There we go. I am very surprised to see James Mangold in this list. Just didn't expect it. Especially over, like, Dune Part 2. Especially over, like, Denis Villeneuve. I don't... The Oscars annoy me with, like, their bias towards categories. Like, they just don't particularly like horror or, like, sci-fi. Obviously, I mean, this year, yes, we are seeing The Substance, which is a horror movie, make its way in there. But, like, Denis Villeneuve, like, it's just the fact that, like, he did Blade Runner 2049, he did Arrival, he did this. He didn't get nominated for any of them. And it's just, like, because it's sci-fi. Even though, like, it is sweeping the technical categories. It was a huge movie. People love it. Most people would, like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of stupid. Anyways, that being said, my prediction here, I think it's between these two. I think it's between Sean Baker and Brady Kober. I'm going to guess Brady Kober for Brutalist. That's my prediction. I think the least likely on this list is James Mangold, followed by Substance, then Amelia Perez. And yeah, these two are pretty tough to guess between, but I'm going to say that Brutalist will win for Best Director. And then we move into the big one of the night, Best Picture. So we have Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. What is I'm Still Here? I don't actually know what that one is off the top of my head. It's a movie with really good reviews, apparently. But that's because it's also not... I don't think it's had a wide release yet, so I don't think that's gonna last. Yeah, I didn't even know about this movie. Anyways, Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I've seen Anora. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I still need to watch Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, Perez, and The Brutalist. It's okay because I don't think any of those ones are winning anyways. Well, actually, sorry, Brutalist might win. Yeah. So I'll start off. Wicked not gonna win. I think it'd be interesting if it did, but it's not gonna win. I think it's a good movie. I think it's also very overrated, and I just don't really understand why it's a Best Picture nominee type movie, but it is. I don't think it's gonna win though. Substance, really liked it. It's not gonna win. Nickel Boys is not gonna win. I'm Still Here, not gonna win. Amelia Perez could win, and it would be one of the biggest upsets like ever. Dune Part 2 won't win, but should win. Conclave, I don't think it'll win. Complete Unknown won't. I still think it's between these two. I still think it's a battle of Anora and The Brutalist. Maybe, I guess, a battle with Amelia Perez at this point, too, because it did win at the Globes. However, I am gonna predict that the Anora will win. I don't know. It could be Brutalist. I don't know. That one's really tough. I actually, you know what? I don't think it's gonna be Anora. I think it's gonna be The Brutalist or Amelia Perez. I know my opinions are literally changing on the spot, but as I'm like speaking, I'm kind of like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna guess The Brutalist. I don't know. Honestly, Best Picture's kind of tough this year. Yeah, I think it's either Anora, Brutalist, Amelia Perez. Could be Conclave as well, though. Who knows? I'm done. I give up. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what your predictions are down below. It's a really tough one this year. Like, this is gonna be a very interesting outcome. So I'm looking forward to it. March 2nd. I'll probably do a video ranking the Best Picture nominees once I've seen them all. So look forward to that. And yeah, thank you all for watching.